What is up, guys? Today is Friday. That means we have a tournament this weekend. The first tournament of our length division that we launched this year. Super excited about it. So I wanted to come on here to make sure that we get everybody in here, that we can go over all of the stuff that's needed for the tournament. So if you are fishing the tournament, do me a favor. There's 15 of us in the tournament currently. Do me a favor if you're fishing the tournament and comment and say, hey, we are here. I do know that I got to go to my Facebook page and I got to make this public. I always forget to do that so that people can comment. Give me 1 second here. Scroll down. There we are. Let's make it public. Done. Maybe. So as you guys are coming in, if you're watching on the... Oh, my phone's not loading now. If you're watching on the Mid-Ohio page, you should be able to comment. If you're watching on my page, you may not be able to, but let me know if you're here and you are fishing the tournament. We have a video we're going to watch put on by Kayak Mike of the Online Catfishing Trail. And then we are going to dig into a couple of our specific rules for our trail. I broke out the fishing hat, if you can't tell, full of slime. So there is Brandon Penwell. So let's just give it a couple seconds for everybody to get in here. I'm going to send out a text as well to let everybody know that we're in here. Hunter's here. There we go. Now you should be able to comment from my Facebook page too, as I just made it Hunter. What's up, Ross? Are you coming? Are you coming on Sunday, Ross? Aunt Pam is here. Oh, now we're getting some people in here. I'd imagine these are going to start being our anglers. Get in the length division chat here and tell everybody that we're live. What's up, Landon? How you doing, man? We are doing good. We're getting ready for this first length event, which I'm super excited for. This is going to be the virtual captains meeting. This is going to tell you everything you need to know about the length division. We're going to watch a video that was actually made by Kayak Mike that shows you how to measure fish, how to submit them, everything you're going to need to know about how to put a fish in the tournament. Hey, Mike, how you doing, man? Mike, you should come fish it. You should come fish our you should come fish our length division on Sunday at Rocky Fork. Hey, Paula. I want to make sure before I start this video, I want to make sure everybody who doesn't know how to submit a fish is on here. Yes, Ross, it is in Hillsboro. I did get some new stickers so I can make some boards, so that's going to be good. Let's see here. This is going to be a lot of sitting around here while we wait for everybody to get in, guys. I'm sorry. If you guys are in here and you are a fisherman in the length division, do me a favor and put here over there in the comments so I know you're in here. I don't think I can. It'd be nice if I could click on that. Hey, Skip. I saw you came in there at the last second. Eric is here. Little fun fact about Skip Martin that I learned from a guy is that he doesn't lose at Rocky. That's what I was told. I think the she's sleeping.
Yeah.
I think the exact words the guy I was talking to said was that he's won like $2 million there or something crazy. All right. So I think everybody who needs to see it's in here. Brandon Hunter's in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a video. The video is, I have a Bimini. Are you going to put all that on so that you can fish next weekend at Rocky Fork, Mike? So, all right, we're going to watch this first. This video is from Kayak Mike. You're going to hear him reference online catfishing a lot. That is the national tour that he runs. Our rules are compatible to his. I took my rules right out of his rule book. So anything that he says in this video will apply. He also says in this video that he'll be referring to himself as the judge. He is not our judge. He doesn't judge our fish. Our fish are judged by a guy in Florida. But again, this is his video. So you're going to hear him talk about him running his trail. He's not in any way, shape, or form associated with our trail. He is going to fish our trail. He is not a judge. He's none of that. He's not on the back end at all. So I don't want you guys to hear him say, hey, I'm going to be looking at your fish and I'm going to be doing this in this video, and then correlate that with him being I just want to beat Kayak Mike, and then correlate that with him being in charge, because he's not. He's just allowing us to use his videos. So it's a pretty long video. I think it's like 10, 15 minutes. So please try to stick it out through the whole thing. There's a lot of really useful information. I'm not going to lie. I only watched the first 4 minutes. So I'm hoping the last 9 minutes are something useful. But I imagine they are, because he puts it out for his guys. So with nothing to do, let's go ahead and start watching this video. That's incorrect for our trail. We allow other boards. Your boards just need to be checked. Oh, hold on. Wait a second. Why is that? Hold on 1 second. How about now? Can you hear it now? All right, hold on. I don't know why this is happening. Hold on. I'm gonna call Mike and ask him how to fix that. Mike, give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. You didn't do anything, but how do I get? I'm trying to share my screen on to your video on YouTube. I understand the sound's not coming through on StreamYard. Is there a way to fix that? Okay, give him a second. He's gonna get on and walk us through it. Sorry, guys. I'm not that tech savvy. I don't understand that, because when I do my video at my intro, I do it the exact same way I did this. Missed one click. I already did. Hold on. 1 second. I got to find it again. For some reason, I closed it. There's the one from 2 years ago. Don't want that one. Man, I thought I had this all figured out. It was going to go smooth. Now these people are looking at me like, what is this guy even doing? Videos. Yes, not StreamYard. I closed out. I accidentally closed out. Where's your one for measuring fish for this year? How to properly take photo for fishing mission on online catfishing. That's 1 month ago. Is that the one? Sorry, guys. Now I feel dumb. I thought I was just watching one that was like 10 minutes long, and it was a great video. Maybe it was the one from 2 years ago. No, it wasn't. That's the one I want. All right, I got it. Okay, so go to StreamYard. I probably done lost all my viewers. They're like, this guy is unbelievable. Could post a link and everybody watch themselves after the cat meeting. I guess so. Click out, click box, click back in, fix for me. All right, hold on. So present, share screen, window. Oh, I can do. Okay, entire screen. Oh, also share tab audio. Got it. All right. Well, we're live if you want to stop in here and watch yourself on this video. That's my favorite part, by the way. Okay, well, we're going to watch a 20-minute video right here. All right. All right, thanks. Okay. Thank God for Kayak Mike. I'm sorry, guys. So, if you guys know how to measure fish, you don't have to stick around for this video. Come back in 20 minutes because there is some stuff I want to talk about.
The only board that is legal at the time in 2024 is the Muskie Bumper. You can purchase the Muskie Bumper sticker if it's still for sale. OCT10 is 10% off the Muskie Bumper website. I believe they changed their website to fishbumper.com. Let's confirm that's correct. So yeah, it's fishbumper.com. It's called now. That's where they sell their Muskie Bumper. OCT10 for 10% off a board this year. But let me go into the details. We're going to go over a blue first, a channel second, which is the
We're good now. Everybody can hear it.
And then a flathead last. We will go over some examples of some disqualifications and disqualifications and or penalties that we can assess and show you how I go about judging. All right, first things first. Catfish has to be right side down, left eye up. The rule book currently states you might have to see the left eye. That is not the case. So if that's in the rule book, I do apologize. The left eye does not have to be visible. There's many cases where a catfish doesn't have a left eye. The most important thing is the orientation is right side down, left side up. Period. End of story. That is for blue cats and channel cats. Everything I'm about to say for a blue cat holds true for a channel cat. You cannot be manipulating the length of the fish in any fashion. You have to be able to see the entire fish in the photo. If the picture was submitted like this, it would be rejected because I can't see the entire fish in the photo. If the picture was submitted like this, you would get some form of penalty or full rejection because I can't see the bump. Depending on how egregious the bump is, I get to make the judgment call of penalty or full disqualification. The more that you remove away, if it's submitted like this and you can only see this much of the fish, it's more than likely going to be a full disqualification. If you submit something like this, where it's clearly bumped, it's clearly there, but you can't see the full fish, I'm probably going to do, half inch, quarter inch penalty. Same thing this direction. So let's say you submit it like this. Well, you're only going to get credit up till where the picture cuts off. Even though it's clearly a 37.5 inch fish, if you submit it like this, you're only going to get credit for 36 3/4 because that's where it cuts off. You can only judge what you can see. As far as your identifier, whatever your identifier in the tournament is, the entire identifier must be in the photo. I can see the entire identifier right here. This was a picture from Andrew Green last year at one of our tournaments. This was the identifier at our in-person tournaments. I hand out identifiers. However, you'll see in a couple of the next photos, identifiers can be a combination of letters and numbers. The identifier must be in the photo. So again, criteria for channel cats and blues: right side down, left eye up, or left side up, either one. Left eye doesn't have to necessarily be in the picture, but it's a good way to remember. Right side down, left eye up. You cannot be manually manipulating the fish in any fashion. The entire fish must be in the photo. The fish's nose must be clearly bumped in the photo. You cannot be manipulating the fish in any fashion, if I didn't already say that, because I do know some people who have gotten straps for their fish this year. Don't be strapping the fish down super tight so it stretches them out. That strap, just lay it on top so you prevent them from flopping around. Perfectly fine. And then what gets judged is the furthest point touching the measuring surface. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, let's say this was the furthest point touching the measuring surface. Well, since it's off the board, it would not count. I would go up to and find the furthest point touching the measuring surface, and that is what you would be scored on. In this case, the furthest point touching the measuring surface is 37.5 inches. Also, the numbers must be clearly legible. We'll go into that in the reject reasons here in a little bit, but the numbers must be clearly legible. If you're in an event that requires you to be in a certain vessel, that vessel must be in the picture. If you are fishing in one of our national kayak events, the kayak has to be in the photo. Whether you banked up or not to take the photo, an identifiable piece of that kayak has to be in the photo. My suggestion, if you're bank fishing from the or with the kayak, or if you need the bank to measure a big fish in the kayak, still measure it like this with the board in the kayak, because that's a guaranteed way to not get a DQ. Unfortunately, Kayak Catfish had a picture last year where he took a picture of a fish. He was bank fishing in one of our events. He got there by his kayak and he's bank fishing, but he took the picture off to the side. The kayak wasn't in the photo. I had to reject the fish. I don't care that he's Kayak Catfish. I got to play it straight with everybody. I don't, if you're my friend or not, whether you're famous or not, everyone gets the same rules. So that is how you do a blow. Same exact rules for a channel cat. So we will zoom in here a little bit so you guys can see. Right side down, left eye up, nose is bumped. You're more than welcome to keep them hooked while you do this whole thing. In this case, you can actually see his line. He is still hooked. You are more than welcome to put them on a fish grips while you picture them. As long as I can clearly see they're still bumped, that's fine. Sometimes people will angle those fish grips up though, and it's blocking the nose, in which case you're probably going to get a penalty of a quarter or a half inch, depending on how egregious it is. But he did this tournament. This is an example of a tournament where he was in multiple tournaments at the same time. HOOK was the identifier in one of the events, and this was our Hoover tournament identifier last year. So here's his Hoover tournament identifier. Here's his identifier for another event that was going on that he was part of. And yes, identifiers can be laid on top of the fish. Perfectly fine. I don't care if the identifier is laid on top of the fish because it's not obstructing anything that I need to do. The entire fish is clearly in the photo. Everything's legible. He's bumped. He's right side down, left eye up. Again, channel cats and blue cats have to be right side down, left eye up. The board is clearly straight. He reaches his max length at 32 inches, and he's good to go. If you are in a slot tournament, you must be trying to achieve max length in the photo. So what I mean here is, you see how he has this upper tail straight and the body's essentially straight? This would be trying to achieve max length. If you were trying to achieve max length and there was a slot limit, you'd be fine. If I feel like you're spreading the
Bill,
tail
we
to
will
get
have
under that
extras.
slot limit, you will have a disqualification on that picture. I'll do another video specifically on slotfish. But again, I'm going to beat a dead horse. Channel cats, blue cats, right side down, left eye up. Left eye doesn't necessarily have to be in the photo because not all catfish have left eyes. Also, the way they, smaller catfish sometimes where their side fins stick out, they kind of lean off to the side. Perfectly fine. If the left eye don't get in the photo, I don't care. Entire fish in the photo, achieve max length. Don't alter the fish in any fashion with your hand. You can use fish grips. You can leave them hooked. Don't care. Their mouth can be open. Don't care. Mouths being open. Seriously, who cares if their mouth is open? All that matters is you're not altering the fish yourself. They are naturally laying on the board. So this fish right here, perfect. Next, flathead. Flatheads can be measured on their bellies. You can technically measure them right side down, left eye up if you want to. I'm asking you not to. Please measure flatheads on their bellies if you can, if you have the means. So here we go again. The identifiers clearly in the photo. This guy, Andrew, was in 1, 2, 3, 4. He was in 5 different tournaments. So he submitted this single fish to 5 different events, which is perfectly fine. He's clearly bumped. Now, flatheads have an underbite. The upper lip clearly isn't bumped. I'm making the judgment call that the bottom lip is for sure bumped in this photo. I'm not going to force you guys to stand directly above a flathead and, take the picture just to show his underbite is bumped. This is no more than, I don't know, an eighth of an inch to a quarter inch away from this bump board. If that, more than likely an eighth of an inch. So yes, I am confident that, excuse me, that the bottom lip is bumped here. He is not altering the fish in any fashion. You can have a hand on the fish just to hold it down, perfectly fine. Other people can help hold down the fish, don't care. Even in the National Kayak Trail, if you have someone near you and, excuse me, if you have someone near you and you have a really big fish and you're worried he's going to flop off the board or you're worried for your safety, they are more than welcome to come over and put a hand down on it just for security reasons, as long as you're not altering the fish. Andrew clearly isn't altering the fish. And it's the farthest touching the board that counts. So Andrew submitted this perfectly. If you're looking at this, it may appear that this fish is 38 inches long. This fish is not. Let me zoom in on his tail. Flatheads sometimes have their fins prop up. Sometimes they won't fly flat. They prop up. In this case, his fin propped up a little bit right here, and none of this is touching the surface. He submitted this at 37.25. This is clearly touching 37.25 right here. This may or may not be on the measuring surface, so I don't know if I would judge based off of this fin, but this is clearly touching 37.25. So this is a great example of you have to submit it where it's clearly touching the measuring surface. It may appear as if this is a 38-inch fish, but it is not. It is a 37.25-inch fish, and that is due to the angle of the camera. But again, blues, channels, right side down, left eye up. Don't be altering the fish. Have it achieving max length. Take the picture, have your identifier in the photo. Flatheads, measure them on their bellies. Make sure they're as clearly bumped as possible. They have an underbite. I understand that. I've judged thousands of these fish. Make sure it's clear that they're bumped. This is clear enough. It's perfectly fine. The entire fish is in the photo. It's not cut off anywhere. And he submitted it based off of what is touching the measuring surface. All right. So now that we have explained how to measure a blue, a channel, and a flathead, let's move over to some rejection reasons. And if you're watching this and I'm using one of your examples, I'm sorry. I only have so many real life examples that I can supply. So if this is one of your fish, I do apologize. Don't take any offense. I just had to find some examples of things I DQ'd in the past. So this fish, you may ask, why doesn't he have the musky bumper? There are other affiliates I work with that don't all abide by the same rules. In this affiliate, they don't force a musky bumper. But this is why I suggest getting one. The numbers have to be clearly legible. So if we zoom in here, if any of you guys can tell me what these numbers are, I'd be greatly appreciated, because I can't. I cannot certifiably tell you what any of these numbers are. This is a full rejection. This is why I strongly suggest everyone going to a musky bumper, or a board manufacturer that has very clear numbers when you take your picture. I would avoid catch. Those numbers get really tough for catfish because the farther you get away, the less their numbers show. They don't really have a product yet that's good for us. Really, the only product worth anything in our scene right now is the musky bumper. But affiliates, if you want to maintain these, just know when I'm going in here and I'm judging these fish, I can't make any kind of leeway for this. This is a full DQ. Another thing, is this fish bumped? Yeah, he's definitely clearly bumped. However, the bump isn't the best on this board. The musky bumper, it's pretty clear when a fish's nose is bumped. Now, nobody would ever argue that this fish's nose isn't bumped. However, why even risk having the chance? So the fish, everything was right, minus the legibility of the board. So this is a full DQ. If I cannot confirm the length or the inches of your submission, it is a full DQ. His identifier was in the photo, fine. The entire fish was in the photo, perfect. Fish is bumped, but I just can't read. It's just not legible. So this one, unfortunately, was a full DQ in this event. Moving on. This fish was not DQ'd. However, I will tell you why it could have been DQ'd. Amanda Johnson, I love you. Thank you for the example. So, Amanda Johnson, let's pretend this does not exist. Let's pretend this identifier right here doesn't exist. Let's say this is the only identifier that exists. In this particular tournament, SUNZ was the identifier. If she didn't just so happen to have this one right here, this would have been a full DQ because the entire identifier is not visible. Did she submit fish earlier in the day with this identifier? Yes, let me show you. Is it? Nope, that's the one we were just on. So this fish right here, it's clearly the same identifier in this photo that it is in this photo. However, I cannot use logic when I am judging fish. I have to use what is in the picture, period, end of story. Even though this is clearly the same identifier she's been using all day, if this was the only identifier she had in this photo, this is a full DQ. Sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. That's one of those black and white rules that we cannot bend whatsoever. If the full identifier isn't in the photo, like, is this clearly just half an S, half a U, half an N, half a Z? Yes. Does she have other photos using it earlier in the day? Yes. But it's still a full DQ because it's not the full identifier. The only thing that saved her here, she had a second identifier on the board. Now, somebody might say it's not right. It's upside down. Guys, if your identifier is upside down, I'm not disqualifying the fish. I don't care if the identifier is upside down, right side up, vertical, on the edge of the picture. It doesn't matter where or how your orientation of your identifier is, as long as it's clearly in the picture. This is clearly SUNZ. She just has it upside down. So what saved her in this instance is she had a second identifier, and it was fully visible. However, remember, if the full identifier isn't visible, if she didn't have this backup, this would have been a complete DQ of this fish. And last but not least, let me show you what I see. So this is a fish that I submitted. Just so everyone knows for sure, I will show you from the beginning, right here. So we're just going to go to my 37.25. You're going to see things that I see. You will not have access to anything from here on out. These are the things that I see. So In here, you have to have your ECIF data turned on prior to downloading the app. And then when you download the app, you have to allow everything. It has to be able to pull your ECIF data over. It has to be able to pull over your photo GPS and timestamps on your actual photos, wherever you take your photos. You might want to uninstall and reinstall it and allow it to do GPS and timestamp. You might want to go into your photo settings if you can't do that and update GPS and timestamp to all your photos. I'm going to show you two things. Right here, this little eye, this is your ECIF data. This is where you took the photo. So if I click on here and I zoom in, come on, zoom in. This is where I took the photo. And I don't care. Guys, when I drag Hoover, I drag in this general area every single time I go up. I don't care to show you my coordinates. Now, I ain't going to show you anyone else's, but my personal ones, I care less if you see them. So this is where I took the photo. This is not where I submitted it from. Those are I get to see both. I get to see where you took it, and I get to see where you submitted it from. So just so you know, if you take all your photos and then submit them at home, I do see your home address. Like just being perfectly clear. But if this photo right here isn't on a body of water or the body of water that event was supposed to be on, it's a full disqualification. I scroll down here. If I click on this, I can see the latitude and longitude of where this is where I submitted the photo from. Go ahead and click on that. This is where I submitted the photo from. Now, it's very similar to where I took the photo. Why? Because when I took the photo, I submitted the picture essentially immediately, which is why they're almost the same. But if you don't submit the photo from where you took it, these two coordinates are not going to be the same. So those are two things that I get. What else? I can see where it was submitted to. I can see all the notes. If I DQ'd this fish for whatever reason, I would see it. And then let me go to, and I'm going to bring this up over here real quick so you guys don't see it. Bring it back over here. Let me scroll in a little bit. I'm not going to scroll any farther than that. So on my side, there's a heat map so ignore this down here. That's just stuff that I was working on. But this right here, this is a heat map of where everything was submitted from and all the ECIF data. I'm not going to scroll in anymore because it'll start giving out specific spots. But when I go and judge a tournament, I go to the ECIF data map and the submission map, and I can see where everyone submitted their fish from and where everyone took their pictures. That's just a quicker way for me to go through all the entries without having to click on every single one. Also, I don't necessarily know which fish was caught where. I just have to make sure all the little dots are on the correct body of water. In this case, they're clear. That's Hoover. If you guys can't tell, that's Hoover right there. They're clearly all on Hoover. If I started zooming in anymore, it would start giving spots away. There is one and one person only who gets to see any of those spots, and that's me. So you do have to have faith in me as your administrator not to share those spots. I don't. I post everywhere I fish on YouTube. I publicly announce where I'm fishing at these tournaments. So there's nothing you have to worry about from me. No one else has access to this page but me. I don't have any other administrators that I allow access to, do anything to judge, anything like that. So all right, in the next video, you guys will learn how to submit a fish. This was all the rules on what you need to do before you submit the fish. Oop, just broke something on my kayak. It's okay. We're going to go over how to bump. This applies to any kind of fishing, boat.
We're not going to learn how to bump.
I've caught, I don't know, a few hundred fish bumping so far. I've bumped in.
We're not going to learn how to bump. We don't have to do that on the lake. So, did everybody get the information that was in that video? First off, first we're going to learn how to bump. Did everybody get the information that was in that video, understand it, and where is, right here. How to submit a fish. One more video to watch, guys. This one's only 7 minutes. Oh. Hold on, I'm trying to get this. I am not. I'll tell you right now, I am not Kayak Mike. I don't know how to get out of full screen. Haha, there we go. All right. This is how to submit a fish. Okay. Yeah, I've been that guy that forgot the identifier. For some reason, Eric, that does not surprise me. They see me rolling. There's Tyler. He made it. This is probably the only event Tyler fishes this year. Everybody say hello to him. All right, let's see. Add to stage. What's going on here? Copy.
Last video was what you need to do to make sure a fish is legal prior to submission. How to take
There
a
we
photo.
go. Now we're cooking.
This video is how to submit a fish once you have taken that photo. My suggestion is don't use the app for photo taking. Take the photo of the fish in your regular app, whatever you use, and take multiple photos. I take 3, 4, 5 pictures of the fish, of every fish, and then after that, I put my hand in front of the camera lens and take a photo. So between each fish, there is a black picture. That way I know I'm not resubmitting the same fish twice. You can add as many photos as you want to a submission. So here we go. If you want to test how to submit a fish before the season starts, if you're new, or if you got a new phone and you're a vet and you want to make sure that your settings are correct, we have a tournament called a test submission. Now, what you're watching me do here is identical to if you were in a tournament. So I'm already registered. So if this tournament was live, let's say this was a real tournament, I would come over here to the leaderboard. Now, a quick way to always come back to the tournament you're on this right-hand side, actually, you can't see it. Let me screw it over. On this right-hand side, you see all of this stuff. You're not going to see any of this. You're only going to have a couple of options. This is what I see as an administrator. At the very bottom, there is this thing called default view. Let me show you. At the very bottom over here, there's this thing called default view. If you check off this, every single time you open the app, it will go back to whatever page you click the default view on. So what I mean is, every single time you open this app now, if you clicked on default view for this tournament, it would take you right to the tournament page. That's extremely handy. So back to how to submit a fish. So you click here, submit catch, and again, everything is the same from my computer to your phone, except the phone is just smaller. Submit catch. Species, you can select whatever you want ahead of time. If you don't remember what species was, add your photo first. It doesn't matter what order you go in, just make sure everything's correct. In this case, I know for a fact I am submitting a blue cat. It's going to ask me all the tournaments. Let's say, like in the last example, Andrew Green was in 6 tournaments. He, right now, would have been able to select all 6 tournaments to submit it one time. The nice thing about Fishing Chaos, if you're in multiple tournaments, you submit it one time, and it hits every tournament you're in. You don't have to go in every single tournament and resubmit that fish. So yes, all my selections are correct. You click on Add Photo. Let's go down here to where I have it saved. You're going to hit the photo you want to submit. On your phone, it's actually a little easier. It goes right to your gallery. Now, in this case, I know it's 29.5 inches. You can always check yourself before you hit submit. You can zoom in on your phone. It's clearly 29.5 inches. So we're going to scroll out. We're going to close it. Down here is where I'm submitting it from. That's actually not my address. Very thankful for that. So this will show you where you took the picture and where are submitting it from. And blue cat, 29.5 inches. It's the photo. You can do a couple double checks. You can check to make sure your identifiers are in it. It looks like in this event, SCPT and SUN, it looks like those were the identifiers for the event for whoever's fish this is. Everything looks good. Do a double check before you submit it. The entire fish is clearly in the photo. He's bumped. He's clearly bumped. He's not being manipulated. So everything looks perfect. The identifier, the entire fish is in the photo. He's bumped, right side down, left eye up. Everything perfect. The numbers are clearly legible. So when you go down here, you just click on submit. It's going to submit to this tournament. If you just wait a couple seconds, it will automatically update. See how entries just turned to 19? I'll be popping up here in 1 second. Come on. All right, it just took a little while longer. On the phone, it typically goes a little quicker. So there I am on the leaderboard now, whichever leaderboard you would be part of on whatever tournament you're on. And you can go in. Now, you won't have this manage entry option, but I do since I am the host. However, you would just come in here. If you wanted to check out anyone else's submissions, you would click on this. You would click on zoom in, and I can zoom in on everything right here myself as an angler. So that is how you actually submit a fish on the app. Also, you can submit as many photos as you want to the same submission. So let's say you take 3, 4, 5 photos, like I said earlier in the video. If you want to submit all those photos to the same submission, that's perfectly fine. Let's say one of your photos has a disqualification reason or a reduction reason. Well, if you have a better photo within those submitted on the same submission, I will delete the bad photo and leave the good photos. So this is what I mean. We'll go to submit catch. We're going to just grab the same exact fish we just did. Click on add photo, open it. So this one photo's here. Let's say I have another photo of this fish. In this case, I don't. I'm just going to grab something else just so it's clearly something different. Let's go to logos. We're going to put one of our sponsors on there. We'll throw Catfish Sumo on there. So this is our second photo. You can scroll through your photos. You see how now I have multiple photos on this submission. I'm going to scroll down, click on submit like we did earlier. Now it is going to take a couple seconds for the leaderboard to update, but it updates. Oh, it already updated while I was talking. Let's see. I will update down here in a couple moments as well. There you go. See, I have updated already. We'll click on that. Kayak Mike, 29.5, 29.5. Now, you see how this fish right here doesn't have any arrows? The fish that I submitted with multiple pictures has arrows. So you can go through and check out every single picture. It looks like Tamara over here submitted this fish with multiple pictures. So she submitted a lot of pictures. Now, it looks like they're all the same, but that's probably because she took a lot of pictures really quick. I do the same thing. I take a bunch of pictures really quick to hope and make sure that when the fish is sitting perfect, I get one of them as he's perfect. Every now and then you'll be taking a photo or two and the fish will flop. Well, if you take multiple photos before that, well then if you're not just waiting for that perfect opportunity and you're taking multiple photos, you'll have that fish before he starts flopping. So that's how you attach multiple photos to a submission. What's up, guys? Kayak Mike here. In this video, we're going to go over the Fliegl Electric.
No, we're not. Sorry, Mike. Everybody's tired of looking at you. Sorry, guys. I was, I'm not going to lie, I was eating dinner while you guys are watching this because I haven't eaten. Been working on my boat, so it's ready for tomorrow. I'm jacked. Austin is out there. Austin Kyler's out there right now finishing it up for me. So, anybody have any questions on the feature presentation that we just watched by yours truly, Kayak Mike, who's kind of famous? He's going to be at a tournament on Sunday. More famous than I am. There's going to be some real celebrities there. Kayak Mike, Eric Jacobs. I guess you could say he's famous. But Mike kind of hit on everything that I wanted to. There's a couple of differences, right? So he kept, as I said in the beginning, he kept referring to as only I can see this and I will be judging. And he is not our judge. Mike is not. You'd be there in spirit if you don't show up, Mike. You just got to wake up. That's the issue. So Mike is not our judge. Mike is a competition angler in this series. Our judge, again, is in Florida. His name is Josh. He has no ties to us. I mean, we know him. People know him, obviously. He's been a kayak fisherman for a while. The identifier will come out on the app. Mike, what time did you set that to come out at? 6:50? Or what time did you? So Mike did help us with our settings. He told me what time to set everything. I had never used the app before. So with Mike side by side, we set up that tournament. We set up the tournament. So he showed me how he has his set up, and we mimicked him is what we did. And then he walked Josh and I through how to judge fish, how to use the app, because Josh and I had never done it. And then I turned everything over to Josh. I will create the events on Fishing Chaos. Josh will judge all the fish. If we ever run into a problem, thankfully we have Mike as a lifeline to help us out. He's been using the event for, I don't know what, 4 years or something crazy. So at 6:50 a.m., your identifier will come out. I believe it comes through the app. Is that correct? I've never done it where my identifier, when I fished your one event in Sandusky, you gave me a playing card. You will want to take postcards, a piece of paper, piece of pizza box, whatever. You got to have something and a marker, a pen. You got to be able to write your identifier out and make it legible. I will have postcard. I will have postcards with me. I won't have any markers, but I will have postcards. I can give you guys some postcards if you need them. But that's one of the big ones. Mike is not our judge. Josh is our judge. If you get a fish disqualified and you have a question about it, you can message me. I will then take the picture that was disqualified. If I can blatantly see why it was disqualified, I'm going to tell you. It was disqualified because, like the first picture Mike showed, the one for our length division, Mike, is this Sunday. Our weight division at Rocky Fork is next Saturday. But like I said, if for some reason you get a fish disqualified and you send it to me, you're like, I don't understand why this is disqualified. If I can blatantly see you didn't have your identifier, the fish wasn't bumped, you only took a picture of half the fish, it was blurry, whatever it be, I'm going to come back and say, this is why. Also, when you get a fish disqualified, Josh will leave a note why he disqualified it. It'll say right below the fish, disqualified and the reason why, and I'm sure he will put not just disqualified with a reason. I'm sure he'll type something in there. This fish was disqualified because you didn't show the numbers, whatever it is, he'll let you know. What you got to understand is getting fish disqualified is part of this tournament, right? So just because you get a fish disqualified, if it's a legit reason why it was disqualified, I really don't want you guys to get mad. I know a lot of guys get upset when they have fish disqualified. For instance, that first fish that Mike showed, that blurry fish. Yes. So if you put one in, say you have a 29, a 28, and a 27 on the leaderboard, and your 29 gets erased, the 28 and 27 will move up, and then anything that you've submitted that's smaller than those will move up and take third place. But that first picture you saw of the guy with the real blurry board, you couldn't see the numbers. I know that guy personally, and because that fish got disqualified, it cost him the tournament. It was between him and Chris Minahan neck and neck all day. And because that blurry picture, he didn't take multiple pictures. One thing you heard in those videos, make sure when you go in to take your picture, use your camera on your phone. Go to camera, take multiple pictures, and then you can go to the app and upload the pictures from your camera. Let me tell you a story about Sandusky last year. I would have got big fish at Sandusky last year, my very first kayak tournament ever. I caught the fish. I'm super jacked. I lay it on the board. I unhook it. I'm like, here we go. I take the app because the app has a camera in it. Push the camera. Take the picture. I'm looking at it. I'm like, yep, that's good. Hit submit, throw the fish back, look back at my phone, app crashed. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I didn't use my camera to take any pictures, so I had no pictures saved of the fish. And I'm sitting there, and it's the circle spinning, the circle spinning. I watched that circle spin for like 2 hours. Like, I didn't want to lose my big fish. I mean, it would have been the biggest fish of the tournament. So finally, I'm like, I'm beat, right? So I'm like, all right, let's close the app and open it back up. Open it back up. And there I am on the board with a 12-inch fish and a 14-inch fish, and the big fish is gone. So make sure, if I can give you any advice from somebody who got screwed by it, use your camera to take the pictures, then go into the app and upload them. One more time. Camera to take the pictures, go into the app and upload them. If you want to use the app, more power to you. It cost me big fish in a tournament, and I don't know what big fish paid last year, but I almost guarantee it was a lot of money because it was, what was there, 30-some anglers up there? So big fish paid what? I don't know, $1,000, I think. So make sure, take the pictures with your camera and then add them to the app. Outside of that, I don't think there's much different than what Mike talked about. I'm not going to lie. Again, I was eating dinner, so I wasn't fully engaged because I know how to submit fish and everything. That was more for the people that this is new to them. And then I see a lot of guys hung out. Brandon, Skip, Eric, all those guys know how to do it, but they hung out because those videos are so informational. I feel like every time you watch it, you can pick something up. I will probably go back and watch them myself tonight. I will be at the ramp at 6:15 at North Shore for anybody who needs a board. If you don't have, $1,025. That's what I gave up. $1,025 because the app crashed. And I knew, I mean, it was my fault. I didn't take pictures with the camera, so I wasn't mad. It sucked. I'm not going to lie. Yes, Skip, it is our biggest 3 fish. The one main difference for you guys that are coming from weight to length is in length, you're always worried about how long they are. Can I have 2 overs and this many unders? That's not a worry in length because you take the picture and you put it right back. You're not in possession of the fish. So you can submit as many fish as you want to submit. If you catch 7 38 inchers, you're having a banner day, and I'm really happy for you. You can submit them all. In our tournament for a tie, so say Skip at 8 in the morning posts a 38-inch fish, and Mike comes in at 9 in the morning and posts a 38-inch fish. The person who submits the fish first is the one who will take the spot. And so like I said, if Skip put his on first, then he would retain first. Mike would get second. That will be how the tiebreaker works. That will also be how the tiebreaker works in big fish. Whoever submits the fish first will retain the top spot. Brandon, are you doing board checks then? Yeah, if you guys want to bring your board over to North Shore before you launch, I'll be there from 6:15 until 7. I'm not leaving the ramp until 7. I'm going to launch at North Shore. I'll be in an orange and black kayak. I'll be sitting right there, or I'll be by Jeff's. Jeff drives a brand new Toyota Tundra. I'll be by his Toyota Tundra. Oh, yes, guys. And also, make sure you become a member of the trail. And I'm going to walk you through how to do that real fast because I feel that's pretty important. So when you come in here, go to – was it this one? No, it's this one. Go to Fishing Chaos. You go to fishingchaos.com. You're logged in. Go to Trail. Search Mid-Ohio, which is right here. And then right here, it'll say Become a Member. Click on that Become a Member because that is how you get the points race. That's how the points race is calculated. So if you're not a member, you won't show up on the points race. Now, when you go to series standings, you're going to see – I'm going to show you this. So anybody who became a member and then joined – will show up here. You get 25 points just for signing up for the tournament. Now, I haven't posted all of my tournaments yet. I will later this week. But if you sign up for every single tournament, pay your entry fee for every single tournament, you'll show up here with 125 points because it's your 5 best. So until we get 5 events in, it's important to remember that the points race may not be 100% accurate because if we're not 5 series in, then somebody's going to have 125 points just because they signed up for the first 5 events. So just wanted to make sure you guys understood that. Good thing you said something about that, Mike. But yes, if you want to get your board checked, bring it to North Shore from 6:15 to 7. Or if I still have loaner boards, you're welcome to take one of the loaner boards I have. That way we know you're using the official tournament board and there's not going to be any questions. You will get – I do need everybody at least to swing by North Shore because you're going to get a green ribbon that you'll tie on your boat. And the only reason I'm going to give you that green ribbon is so I know that you're in the tournament. And that's more for the boat guys so that if there's 2 on the boat and you have a green ribbon and you have 6 rods in the water, you'd be disqualified. Remember, this is only a 3-rod event. You can fish as a team, $50 as a team. 1 person registers. Also, if you're going to fish as a team, make sure every time you sign up in the Fishing Chaos app, the same person signs up so that your points calculate. Like if me and Brandon were going to be on my boat as a team and I signed up for this event and then I had him sign up for the next event, well, that's going to hurt us because only 1 person can get points in Fishing Chaos. So make sure that the same person every week signs up in Fishing Chaos. Also in the Fishing Chaos app, when you guys sign up, and you click pay and it runs you through and it wants you to sign up for an annual or a monthly subscription, that can save you money. If you do the annual, it's only $46. I understand some guys don't want to pay the $46, but if you look at your total when you pay for the tournament, it's going to be $53 and then a $4.99 charge. That $4.99 charge is given to Fishing Chaos. The $3 on the $50, the $3 is the credit card processing fee. That leaves me with $50 exactly to pay out. That's the reason we do it that way. Man, my nose is running. But if you sign up for a membership, either the $3.99 membership per month or the $46 membership per year, you don't have to pay that fee for every single tournament. That's waived. So then you would just be paying the $53 to get into the tournament. So they don't do a good job at advertising that, which I understand why, because they would rather make the $4.99 for every single tournament you fish. But I wanted to make sure you guys knew that. Outside of that, I believe I have answered all the questions. Just stop by in the morning at North Shore Ramp. I'll be there at 6:15. Stop by and get your ribbon, and then you can go launch wherever you want. Yeah, so if you fish 12 events, that's $48, or you can just pay the $46 and save a couple bucks. But most people who are going to fish this also fish a lot of other length events, and that's where it really becomes a big savings. So you can also cancel your subscription. If you fish out our events end in October, you pay the monthly until October, you can cancel your subscription and then pick it back up the next year too. But outside of that, I think I hit everything. Kayak Mike, Eric, Brandon, did I miss anything? If you're in a boat, yes. If you're in a boat, we want to put a green tie on your boat just so that you can, just so we can identify you as a boat partner. Tyler, so the person who signs up has to be there to count the fish. Otherwise, you would have guys swapping partners, right? So like this week, it'd be me and you, and then I couldn't make it, so you fished in my spot, and I gave you the points. And then next week, it'd be me and Eric, and then I couldn't make it, so Eric would fish out of my boat and get the points. So in order to get points, the person who signs up when you, like, as a boat, like if it's me and you, and I sign up, I'm going to have to sign up every week for those points to count. That's how we discussed it, and I think that's how we're going to go with it. So you can launch your boat at 5 a.m. and go get bait, whatever you want. You're allowed to do that. Like I said, I would like everybody that's in a boat to come to, obviously everybody out there catfishing in a kayak is going to be in the tournament. If you're in a boat and you're fishing our event, I need you to stop by North Shore and get a green ribbon so we can tie it to your rod holders, to your motor, whatever, wherever you want to tie it. Or come back to North Shore. You know, you're in a boat, so you can make it across the lake pretty quick. Come back up to North Shore to get your ribbon. And then you can go back out, get to your spots. Lines in at 7. You're allowed to scan. You're allowed to go look for bait. You're allowed to do whatever you want from 5 to 7. And then so from 5 to 7, once you get to 7, you can put your lines in the water. At 7 o'clock, lines in. You can then fish all day, but your lines have to be out at 3 o'clock. The one thing to remember with your lines being out at 3 o'clock is we are going to look at your pictures and when they're submitted, right? So if you take a picture at 3:01, that picture is not going to count. You have to have your picture taken before lines out, before the 3 o'clock deadline. 3 o'clock in 1 second, that picture is not going to count. So make sure you have your picture taken before 3 o'clock. That's the hard cutoff. You can submit it up until 4 o'clock. You can submit your pictures up until 4 o'clock. You also need to be back at the ramp for the captain's meeting before 4 o'clock. So I will tell you, Rocky Fork is a lake that has a lot of bad signal and bad service. That's where taking your pictures on your phone is key. Take them on your phone. If you don't have service, no big deal. The second you get service, submit them, or whatever it be. When you get service again, you can submit them. Rocky Fork is bad about cell phone service. If you come out of North Shore and you go left and you go towards the dam, down there by the restaurant, there is no service. If you go right, you go all the way to the end of the lake, there is no service. Somewhere in the middle of the lake in those coves, you'll have service. I only know this because when I was there, I was trying to go live on TikTok, and I moved around the whole lake trying to find a spot. And although I had little tiny bits of signal, the live was really hard. So just keep that in mind, that you're going to be in areas that don't have service. You have until an hour after the tournament to submit all your fish. Josh will make sure after you submit them, Josh then has an extra 30 minutes, 4:30, in case people do submit them at like 3:50, 3:55. Josh will be watching at the end, waiting for submissions to judge, and then he will have them all certified and done by 4:30, and that's what time everybody will get paid. You have until 5 to challenge, but I would really suggest you challenge anything you want to challenge. If you want to challenge, or if you have any questions or you saw somebody cheating, get with me right away. Send me a message, send me a text. I need some type of proof as well. You can't just say, hey, I saw that guy with 4 rods in the water. If you see a guy with 4 rods in the water, take a picture of it, send it to me. This guy's fishing in our tournament. He has 4 rods in the water. I need some type of proof. I can't. If I went off of everybody's word, I'd be disqualifying everybody in the tournament sometimes. I've had people complain about some of the craziest stuff. So if you find somebody who's legit cheating, or you challenge a fish, like maybe Josh approved one and you don't think it should have been approved, there's a button on there that says challenge. Each angler gets two per tournament. The only thing is if we start abusing the challenge button, we're taking the challenge button away, and then you're going to have to call us and say, hey, I don't agree with this, and we'll talk it out. Anything that you guys don't agree with, me as the director, I am first going to go to Josh, and I'm going to say, hey, this is our question. And if maybe Josh and I have conflicting views, or I then take it to the board, I go to the message, or however many board members are present. There will usually be 2 or more board members at each one of these tournaments. We will all come together as a board. We'll look at it. We will make a decision. The board's decision is final. Josh's decision, we consider final unless it's challenged. If it's challenged, it will then go to me. And if I see the need to take it to the board, if I go to Josh and it's not blatant, like it's not a blurry picture, and I'm looking at it like, well, this could have been, could not have been, I will then take it to the board. The board will look at it. Everybody who's on the board in person, if there's only 2 of us, we'll be looking at it in person. We'll send it. We have a group chat for the board. We'll send it to the group chat and the board, and then the entire board will review it. We will vote on it, which Josh is not on the board, just so you guys know. He's only the judge. We will then review it, and if something comes out and we are to change the decision, we will then let Josh know first, and then we'll let the angler know. But Josh has been kayak catfishing since I was in diapers. So I don't believe that Josh is going to mess this up. I think he's got a really good handle on it. This first tournament, he may be a little jittery, may have some bugs. You know, it's the first one he's ever judged. He may have questions. So if you get a call from him, it may just be a question. Hey, or a suggestion. Hey, I had to disqualify your fish. You didn't bump it. Or you may get a call. He may call me and I may call you. Whatever it may be, just know that there is layers to everything. If there's an issue, if there's any issue at all this entire season, I do ask that you bring it to us before, Facebook kills these kind of things. We don't want any drama on Facebook. We're going to try to run a drama-free trail. If anybody in this trail, weight or length, has any issues, I highly encourage you and ask you, please, to afford us the opportunity to bring it to us. Let the board make a decision on it. And then if you're not happy with the board's decision, then you're welcome to do whatever you want. But we want everybody to be happy. We want everything to go smooth, and we want this trail to run flawlessly. So that was a lot. Anything else? You guys are asking great questions. We got noisy kids. They're getting yelled at. Seeing nothing else, I think that's all I got for you guys. So if you guys joined late, go back and watch the videos that were in the beginning of this thing. They were very informational. They taught you how to measure fish. Anybody who's wanting to join this, let me know. Send me a message. I'll send you the link. We would love to have you. We're at 15 anglers. I mean, I don't do a whole lot of these, but I'm guessing that 15 anglers for our first length event is pretty good. Am I right, Eric? Do like we do on the bank tournaments. Don't release the fish till you get the okay. Yeah, I mean, don't release the fish till you know it's uploaded on the app. Absolutely. Look at your app. Make sure the fish is uploaded, then release it. I made that mistake. I did not make sure I had the okay on the app, and I released the fish. So I'm super ecstatic. Like I said, 15 anglers, that seems like a lot to me for our first one, and hopefully this thing continues to grow. So with nothing else to do, I got to get back out there and help Austin finish my boat because we're fishing. Oh, Willie Smith is having a tournament at Rocky Fork tomorrow. It's a weight tournament. Your biggest fish for anybody that wants to fish it. I will be there. We'll be launching from the North Shore ramp. So North Shore ramp, 7:30 a.m. Tournament starts at 8. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to send me a message and I'll ask Willie. But other than that, I got nothing else, guys. I appreciate your time. I appreciate all you guys signing up, and we will see you guys on Sunday. Take care.